Welcome to our 8th grade pin ceremony. I invite the entire St. Agatha School family to join me as we honor each student of the class of 2020. We celebrate their academic accomplishments, as well as their participation in community service and extracurricular activities. These accomplishments have happened their last year here at St. Agatha School. The accolades received today are as follows. First is the St. Agatha Medal. Our tradition as a school is that each student is awarded the St. Agatha Medal for graduating from St. Agatha School. Then we have the pins. The middle school faculty places pins on the St. Agatha Medal ribbon according to each student's specific accomplishments. They are as follows. The subject area pin. The subject area pin is awarded to the student who earns 90% or higher in that subject area for the final average of the year. Then we have two pins that are based on the overall final average. The first pin is the distinction pin. The distinction pin is awarded to the student who earns a 93% or higher overall average for the year. Next, we have the highest distinction pin. The highest distinction pin is awarded to the top 10 students who have the top 10 overall final averages. Then we move to the Scholar Athlete pin. The Scholar Athlete pin is awarded to a student who participated in a school sport while maintaining a 93% or higher overall average. The extracurricular pin. The extracurricular pins are awarded according to the specific extracurricular activity. The student has to participate according to the standards of the activity, as well as complete all the requirements. We have two national awards that are presented each year to the graduating class. These are the Presidential Awards. The first is the Gold's President Award for Educational Excellence. The Gold's President Award is given to the student who has, first, an 85 or higher national percentile rank on the Terra Nova reading or math, and secondly, has a 90% or higher overall average. Silver President's Award for Educational Achievement. This award is given to each student who demonstrates tremendous growth by dramatically improving their Terra Nova scores as compared to last year's. The student receiving a presidential award receives a pin and also receives a national certificate from the President of the United States. Consequently, I would like to read to you the congratulatory letter from our President. Mrs. Trump and I are pleased to congratulate you on receiving the 2019 President's Education Award. It is a privilege to join your family, friends, school, and community in celebrating your wonderful achievement. The success and education of our youth are vitally important to the future of America and the entire world. Your distinguished commitment to learning gives us great hope. Our nation is strengthened by your hard work, leadership, and academic excellence. We encourage you to continue to believe in yourself, strive toward even greater accomplishments, and pursue your dreams no matter the obstacle. May God bless you, and may He continue to bless the United States of America. Signed, Donald J. Trump. Lastly, we have two awards that are in our St. Agatha tradition, and this is the Bishop Roman Award and the Christian Leadership Award. The Bishop Roman Award is presented annually to the 8th grade student who applies the gospel teachings to everyday living, shows good judgment when making decisions, demonstrates respect for others, and adheres to moral values. The administration and faculty of St. Agatha is responsible for selecting this recipient. Christian Leadership Award. The Christian Leadership Award is presented annually to the 8th grade student that most reflects the Catholic values and virtues. This student serves as an example to his or her fellow students. The 8th grade class is responsible for selecting the recipient. And lastly, we have the Salutatorian Award and the Valedictorian Award. This award, the Salutatorian Award, is presented to the second highest ranking student with the second highest cumulative grade point average in the class of 2020. And lastly, the Valedictorian Award. This award is presented to the highest ranking student with the highest cumulative grade point average in the class of 2020. It is my honor to congratulate all the students in the class of 2020.
Sofia Acosta receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, scholar athlete, President Silver, and graduates with distinction. Lea Aguilar receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society Secretary, choir, liturgical dance, St. Paul Ministry, newspaper, perfect attendance, scholar athlete, and graduates with highest distinction. Isabel Alfonso Fornos receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society Vice President, usher, St. Paul Ministry, President's Gold, and graduates with highest distinction. Eric Andrade receives awards in art, physical education, St. Paul Ministry, and President's Silver. Taylor Ann Salon receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, liturgical dance captain, St. Paul Ministry, yearbook, peer mediator, scholar athlete, and graduates with distinction. Lucas Artime receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Julio Aviles Mercado receives awards in religion, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, student council, and President's Silver. Angelo Azareto receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Christina Bailey receives awards in English, art, music, physical education, Spanish, and St. Paul Ministry. Blake Brewer receives awards in art, music, physical education, and usher. Marco Camacho receives awards in English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, and Spanish. Gabriel Carvajal receives awards in religion, science, art, music, and physical education. Daniel Castaño receives awards in art, music, and physical education. Sofia Castaño receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, peer mediator, scholar athlete, and graduates with highest distinction. Marco Centurion receives awards in English, science, art, music, physical education, safety patrol, usher, St. Paul Ministry, peer mediator, and President's Silver. Natalie Cortez receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, choir, art club, photography club, peer mediator, and graduates with highest distinction. Natalia Dyer receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, liturgical dance, President's Silver, and graduates with distinction. Catherine Diaz Vega receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, St. Paul Ministry, yearbook, President's Silver, and graduates with distinction. Anthony Emil receives awards in art, music, physical education, usher, St. Paul Ministry, and peer mediator. Jeremy Facio receives awards in religion, social studies, art, music, physical education, and safety patrol. Julian Fonseca receives awards in art, music, physical education, and helping hands. Franklin Francisco Jr. receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, scholar athlete, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Karen Gallego receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, choir, art club, altar server, photography club, yearbook, newspaper, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with highest distinction. Emily Garcia Curtis receives awards in religion, English, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, St. Paul Ministry, student council, peer mediator, and President's Silver. Melanie Garcia Holguin receives awards in religion, literature, English, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, and graduates with distinction. Mark Gill receives awards in art, music, physical education, usher, and perfect attendance. Jonathan Gomez receives awards in English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, usher, photography club, President's Silver, and President's Gold. Gian Hernandez receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, usher, St. Paul Ministry, yearbook, newspaper, student council vice president, scholar athlete, president's gold, and graduates with distinction. Isabel Jaramillo receives awards in religion, science, art, and physical education. Soraya Jones receives awards in English, math, science, art, music, physical education, Spanish, and St. Paul ministry. Gabriela Loredo receives awards in art, music, physical education, and President's Silver. Nicholas Luna Arauz receives awards in math, science, art, music, physical education, and St. Paul ministry. Mia Marquez receives awards in art, music, physical education, and St. Paul ministry. Jasmine Martel receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, usher, St. Paul ministry, lector, yearbook, newspaper, scholar athlete, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Nicole Mederos receives awards in art, music, physical education, safety patrol, and helping hands. Adriana Mendez receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, St. Paul ministry, peer mediator, scholar athlete, President's Silver, and graduates with distinction. Amanda Mendez receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, St. Paul ministry, scholar athlete, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Ronnie Mora receives awards in art, music, physical education, and usher. Alan Morantes receives awards in science, social studies, art, and physical education. Daniel Negron receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, yearbook, newspaper, peer mediator, St. Paul ministry, President's Silver, and graduates with distinction. Anthony Nicola receives awards in art, physical education, and President's Silver. Alexa Orozco receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, liturgical dance, St. Paul ministry, lector, student council president, President's Gold, and graduates with highest distinction. Miguel Perdomo Jr. receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, photography club, yearbook, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Juliet Ponce receives awards in religion, literature, English, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, student council, and graduates with distinction. Sabrina Quesada receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society President, Usher, Yearbook, Newspaper, Peer Mediator, Scholar Athlete, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with highest distinction. Jose Ramon Rodriguez receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, art, music, physical education, Spanish, altar server, and St. Paul Ministry. Rodrigo Rodriguez receives awards in music, physical education, and President's Silver. Federico Rodriguez Villamil receives awards in St. Paul Ministry and President's Silver. Paola Rosal Fernandez receives awards in English, math, art, physical education, Spanish, St. Paul Ministry, and Photography Club. Lauren Sanchez receives awards in art, music, physical education, Spanish, and art club. Sasha Sanchez receives awards in English, art, physical education, Spanish, and usher. Dana Scarponi receives awards in English, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, usher, and St. Paul Ministry. Isabella Schwerte receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, St. Paul Ministry, student council, scholar athlete, and graduates with distinction. Alessandra Cintas receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, choir, yearbook, and graduates with highest distinction. Eric Smith Jr. receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, usher, and graduates with distinction. Michael Strange receives awards in art, music, and physical education. Chelsea Suriano receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, liturgical dance, student council, scholar athlete, President's Silver, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Viviana Tavares receives awards in religion, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, usher, St. Paul Ministry, yearbook, scholar athlete, President's Gold, and graduates with distinction. Andrew Lucas Torres receives awards in English, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, choir, usher, and St. Paul Ministry. Sabrina Villamizar receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, choir, safety patrol captain, liturgical dance, St. Paul Ministry, newspaper, student council, scholar athlete, and graduates with highest distinction. Samantha Villamizar receives awards in religion, literature, English, math, science, social studies, art, music, physical education, Spanish, National Junior Honor Society, choir, safety patrol lieutenant, liturgical dance, St. Paul Ministry, yearbook, perfect attendance, scholar athlete, and graduates with highest distinction. This year, it is with great pleasure to award the Bishop Romanga Award to Daniel Negron. The Christian Leadership Award is given to Isabela Jaramillo. The President's Educational Silver Award goes to Sofia Acosta, Eric Andrade, Julio Aviles Mercado, Marcos Centurion, Natalia Dyer, Catherine Diaz Vega, Franklin Francisco Jr., Karen Gallego, Emily Garcia Curtis, Jonathan Gomez, Gabriela Loredo, Jasmine Martel, Adriana Mendez, Amanda Mendez, Daniel Negron, Anthony Nicola, Sabrina Quesada, Rodrigo Rodríguez, Federico Rodríguez Villamil, and Chelsea Suriano. The President's Education Gold Award goes to Isabel Alfonso Fornos, Lucas Artime, Angelo Azareto, Franklin Francisco Jr., Karen Gallego, Jonathan Gomez, Jeanne Hernandez, Jasmine Martel, Amanda Mendez, Alexa Orozco, Miguel Perdomo, Sabrina Quesada, Chelsea Suriano, and Viviana Tavares. Along with your academic and extracurricular awards, you are also bestowed the St. Agatha Adversity Strong Pin, which represents how strong and resilient you have been through this last quarter of your 8th grade year. Remember that along with your parents and family, you have your St. Agatha family that will keep you in our hearts and in our prayers from this day forward. We, the faculty of St. Agatha Catholic School, are proud to announce that you are St. Agatha's class of 2020.
As the principal of St. Agatha School, it is my honor each year to announce the valedictorian and the salutatorian of the graduating class. This year, we actually have a tie for the salutatorian of the school. There's 2 students that have exactly the same second highest final average in this class. So congratulations to Samantha Villamizar and Alessandra Cintas, who are both salutatorians. And lastly, the valedictorian. This is the child that has the highest final average in the class of 2020. The valedictorian this year is Karen Gallego. Ladies, we are truly proud of you. We congratulate you in all your achievements and also being Christ-centered. You truly exemplify what our school stands for: Christ-centered academic excellence.
Good morning, faculty, staff, students, families, and parents. It is my honor to welcome you today to the Class of 2020 graduation ceremony, the first ever 8th grade virtual ceremony. On behalf of the Class of 2020, we would like to thank all the teachers and staff for making this graduation ceremony possible. I would also like to thank all the middle school teachers for their determination and hard work in trying to make this year as special as possible. I can't emphasize how much these 8 years have meant to me. In these 8 years, I have grown spiritually, academically, and personally. This day would not have been possible without my teachers and family. Each one of them has contributed to my personal growth in their own way. School isn't just about learning. It is about creating special bonds and memories with special people that will last a long time. Graduation is a celebration where we take time to look back at lessons learned, brilliant moments with special meanings, and adventures shared. As I look back at my 8th grade year, I see what sets the class of 2020 apart. We faced challenges and still managed to show determination and perseverance. When I was new to St. Agatha in 1st grade, I was really nervous and scared to go to a new school. Those fears went away because St. Agatha family welcomed me with open arms and with much kindness. I'll never forget the years I spent at St. Agatha. They were filled with many special memories. St. Agatha will always be my second home. In a few months, we'll be moving on to high school, a new world. Although I've been looking forward to graduation, I dislike endings. Some of us will part ways with a best friend. Today we say goodbye to our St. Agatha family. But just because we're leaving doesn't mean we'll forget about them. They're people who will always shape us forever and be a part of us no matter what. I have no doubt the class of 2020 will succeed and live on a faithful life. Some of you will become great scientists and find a cure for cancer, or become great doctors and help people all around the world. Always remember that you can do things through Christ who strengthens you. May God bless the class of 2020, and thank you, St. Agatha, for these 8 wonderful years.
Good morning, friends and family. I'm Alessandra Cintas. I'm honored to be the salutatorian of St. Agatha's graduating class of 2020, a title I have worked for through consistent academic dedication. But I stand here today and not to go on about the title bestowed upon me, but to proclaim the love that I have for my school and what I have learned throughout my journey as a St. Agatha student. Today we gather to celebrate our accomplishments. I believe that life resembles a book and that it is abundant in new beginnings and chapters. And graduates, we are only in the beginning of this book of life. We are the future generation of this world that we live in. Applying the knowledge and morals provided to us by our family and teachers, we have a voice and we must learn how to use it. Although our book of life will have many conflicts and obstacles, the real test is how we choose to defeat them. I stand here today and I strongly believe that I'm not the only one who deserves to be honored. In fact, many of my friends have implemented just as much academic effort as I have, or perhaps more. My father has always told me that the 3 virtues for success are patience, persistence, and faith. We as a class have shown that through our efforts and these virtues, we can succeed. I remember my first day of school here in St. Agatha, in Pre-K 3. A bittersweet day. Entering our classrooms for the first time, we were stricken with such confusion. Why were our parents leaving us here? Did they not want us anymore? But as time progressed, we became a family. I recollect our center times and our fights over Lego blocks or who would use the seesaw. But most of all, I remember when we learned how to share, to be kind, and how to be an example of Christ. I thank my parents each and every day for bringing me here, and I surely will never stop. I recall looking up to the big boys and girls in middle school. In fact, if you were ever addressed by any one of them, you could consider yourself royalty. And with the flip of a switch, we are in their place. We are choosing our high schools and participating in the academic Olympics, having our last field day and our last Christmas show. But we are still united by God's love and will always remain a family. The St. Agatha Mustang is a symbol of freedom, heroism, and limitless possibility. I will always be a Mustang, and I hope you all choose to do so too. I am thankful for each and every teacher who has made me who I am and carved a path for my life. I am thankful for my friends who have supported me in all of my decisions, and especially I want to thank my family. I would not be here if it weren't for them. From the day I came into this world, they have loved me and supported me for who I am. I cannot stress the importance that family signifies in each one of our lives. Who has helped you when you are struggling? Who has always forgiven you no matter what actions you have carried out? Graduates, never forget where you came from and who helped you grow into the person that you become in the future. Never lose the ethics and dignity that light your way. And lastly, never forget God. Thank you for having me, and congratulations, class of 2020.
My fellow graduates, it is an honor for me to speak to you today. Surely none of us expected to graduate virtually. Like many of you, I miss walking in our school's hallways, and I wish our final year at St. Agatha didn't end like this. We may be physically separated, but we are united under the same cause and faith. Firstly, I would like to thank my family. My parents, my brother, mis abuelos, and friends for helping me along the way. Without their continued support, I would not be where I am today. They always have my back and have given me countless memories to look back on. I want to congratulate our class of 2020, as well as our salutatorians, Alessandra Cintas and Samantha Villamizar, and our Honor Society members, for all the accomplishments made this year. Our class has been highly successful in its studies, and I know we can all continue like this through high school. Whichever school you'll be attending or path you plan to go down, I am confident we will all succeed in this new environment. It's also important to recognize our teachers for their hard work. Our teachers have played an extremely significant role in our academic journeys. From helping us understand concepts in their classroom, to yelling at us when the volume gets too loud, they have been a big part of our everyday lives. Without a doubt, I know I'll miss Mrs. Quesada's often dramatic reciting of our novels, adopting different voices for dialogue, the fun banter in Mrs. Grillo's class, alongside tedious note-taking, Mrs. Delgado's and Miss Rodriguez's kind attitudes, the calm ambience in Mrs. Jewett's room, and Mrs. Viciana's delightful comments. I'm glad that I joined clubs such as art and photography. Mrs. Rodriguez has inspired me to explore my interest in art, not only in her classroom but on my own. Along the same line, I might not have played drums during the school masses had it not been for Mr. Burnett's encouragement. And of course, thank you to Mrs. Hernandez, Mrs. Peretz, and Father Marcos for leading our school under our faith, dedicated to providing us with the education we need to advance and enriching our beliefs. Even though we aren't with them now, I still feel connected with our school's faculty. Just a few weeks ago, they visited our homes with posters and excitement to congratulate our coming graduation, and truly showed how much they miss having us in their classrooms. Through rain and shine, they greeted each of us with a smile, and I don't think I could find such loving and caring teachers in any other school. These memories, along with the lessons I've learned, are what made this year so memorable. Although I will remember the faculty and events of our school, I think I will mostly recall the small details. Mrs. Delgado's coffee brewing in the morning as we prepare our notes, the loud thuds as we walk down the secret stairwell, our loud chanting of happy birthday to our friends during lunch, and asking everyone around us in class to quiz us on our study guides. These small moments truly help to remind me of my time at St. Agatha, and add to the close atmosphere that comes to mind when I think of my school. After 9 years of being a part of this community, I can safely say that I will not forget this experience. I am grateful for having such wonderful educators, friends, and a supporting family in my life, and I could not be more excited for all of our futures. I want to leave you with a thought as we head into new adventures. A quote from one of my favorite authors, Walt Whitman: "Keep your face always toward the sunshine, and shadows will fall behind you." Thank you.